So Dave, playoff semi-final coming up against Charlotte Richard tomorrow. First of all, what are your overall thoughts ahead of it?
Yeah, I think probably excitement. I think it is the biggest sort of emotion. I think it's a long season, lots of ups and downs. Um, Obviously, since we finished the campaign just over a week ago, we've been waiting to find out who we'll be playing and when, which has been a little bit less than perfect in terms of preparation for the game. But obviously, it's factors completely outside of our control. Obviously, Saturday was when we found out where and when. So that's all been resolved now. So like you said, the lads are ready, we're prepared for the game. We had a couple of training sessions, so we're really excited now. Looking forward to it.
Obviously, from an opposition perspective, Charlotte Richard obviously have had sort of quite the run of the mill in the last few weeks. They've played 4 games in the last week. They've won all 4 of them to be able to get into a position to play in the playoff semi final. I think they're unbeaten in something like the last 8 games. I guess from your perspective, how do you prepare for a game like this when a team is in such a good run of form going into again what is another sort of key game for not just Barry but for China Richard as well.
Yeah. So look, it's difficult, and I think sometimes you can overthink these things. I think obviously the run that China have been on first and foremost was remarkable, and for them to keep winning and churning out those games and results and performances is a remarkable feat. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they'll have some tired legs, and they'll have people with niggles and knocks that they're trying to get through as well. But then the other side of that is it's tough on the legs, but the momentum those type of runs can generate is something that is really difficult to quantify when it comes to football. So yeah, they're a good side. They're a very good side. We played them sort of I think 4 times this season, 2 since I've been here. So we know what they're like. I've seen them play quite a lot. They're a very good footballing side, very well organised, well set. They'll be set up well. But again, like with most teams, when we set up and what we're looking for, I genuinely believe that if we play to the best of our abilities and we play the way that we want to play, we impose ourselves on the game. I genuinely believe that we can beat anyone. So yes, China have made an unbelievable run for the playoffs. They are a very, very good side, and we'd be very naive to overlook that. But again, it's more about us than it is about them for me. Um, if we can get the lads playing and playing the game and building the game and playing through lines and getting the ball into the attacking players, then I really fancy our chances.
And obviously, from a personnel perspective, we've spoken a lot in recent weeks about sort of players picking up various sort of knocks and muscle injuries. How's everyone doing within the squad, and sort of is there anyone that's unavailable for the game?
So we've got a few concerns. I probably have to have a couple of. There's a couple in tomorrow for a late fitness test. There's been a couple in tonight who've seen Aidan and Alan just for some assessment, some rehab work. So overall, obviously we know obviously the long term ones we were unavailable. I think it's probably going to come a little bit too soon for Benito, unfortunately, who's come back from loan. Been recalled back from his loan at Stalybridge this week, but it's probably just come a bit too soon. He's still getting pain and discomfort when sprinting. If we go through, is Saturday another option potentially? Obviously, Deck Daniels long term one, so Deck won't be available. And then we've got a few others with niggles and knocks that we just need to try and work through over the next 24 hours.
And I guess from that, does that make your sort of team selection difficult? Because I guess if you've got all those players in for sort of late assessment, sort of sat here now, just under 24 hours away from kickoff, you've not really got that sort of settled and starting 11 in your head, and you're obviously going to have to make those last minute calls as a manager in a game like this. There's obviously a big playoff semi final. I guess that's something that you're just going to have to sort of get on with sort of with the situation and the players and the injuries that you've got.
Yeah, I think obviously you're literally just less than 24 hours away now. So ideally, you'd want full certainty of what the 11 is and what the 5 subs are, and starting to get visions of the game and where you think that you can impose yourselves. But the other side of it is yes, would be ideal to know that information now. However, 24 hours is a long time, and with some of the little niggles and knocks that we have got, that 24 hours might allow one extra player to be able to be available, and that might be the player that makes the difference. So, yes, it will be good to have sort of a full knowledge of what we're going to. However, myself and Tim have been together for about 3 or 4 hours today, so we've got a plan for every eventuality that could possibly happen tomorrow. Hopefully, if not, as long as nothing new happens. But yeah, we've got plans, and we know what we're going to be doing, depending on which scenario sort of hits us. So we can't be any more prepared than what we are.
And obviously, you mentioned sort of the lads have been together for training sessions and that over the last week or so. How's the morale amongst the squad going into such a big game?
Do you know what? It's been really good. I think Tuesday was a little bit of a different session. We just did some real light work. We were up at Gig and did a little bit of video work, a little bit of analysis, and talked them through a few things that we sort of wanted to take them through. It was good to get them all together, and the camaraderie, joking, and the laughing and the banter that was really high. So look, the lads are disappointed that we've had to come through playoffs. We all wanted to try and win the league. That was what we set out to do. Within short of being unbelievably consistent and deservedly won the league. So playoffs it is. It is tough. It's hard when your season comes down to one or potentially two games, but there's also a massive excitement about it, isn't there? You know, playing in front of those fans at Gig and just being able to go out and just say like this is a big game, and ultimately big games for big game players.
Definitely, I know that the ticket sales are still going well for the game tomorrow. Obviously, we've spoken a lot about the fans since you've been manager of this football club. How big of a part can they play tomorrow, and what's your message to them?
I think that it's massively important. I think we want to try and start the game quickly to have them behind us and give them that vocal backing as they do normally. You know, louder than ever this time for the longest throughout the game, and I genuinely think it can really upset opposition players. I think obviously it's something that's quite unique at the level. It can have an impact, and I think when they're behind our lads and really giving everything that they've got as they normally do, I think it's just it's a different feeling for players at this level. I think it can bring out the best in people. It can be challenging as well at times. You know, the pressure that sort of plays with being at such a big club and the responsibility in front of the fans. But you know, majority of it's all really positive, and I think they can have such a massive impact. So please, come in your numbers, bring the noise, get behind the boys, and hopefully at the end of the game we can come over and say thank you to everyone.
Well, Dave, as always, many thanks for your time.
Cheers, thanks, mate.